Happy Arvo. Hello, thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing? Especially you, Terry. How are you? Terry sent this video in. Funniest moments in Australian politics of all time. Which, super interesting subject. I'd never considered, like, not all that much funny stuff. More so embarrassing, stupid stuff happens over here in American politics. Other than when Donald Trump is, like, debating. That's pretty funny. But apart from that, it's usually pretty boring. But I can imagine maybe it's not in Australia. And I'm really looking forward to this. It's a 28-minute long video, so if it's interesting, I'll probably watch like 14 minutes today, and then if it's good, watch the other half some other day. So subscribe for that. Unless I don't like the video, then don't subscribe for that. But we'll see. Okay, let's go.
Oh, what on earth?
Who's commentating? Oh, what on earth? Anti-Muslim senator has provoked anger in Australia. Wait, he was wearing a burqa? The anti-Muslim senator was wearing a burqa.
Yes, because this is not what should belong in this parliament.
A return.
Not what should belong
Leader of the One Nation Party wants Islamic face coverings to be banned.
in this parliament.
A return.
She was actually wearing it?
To the growth models of the past. Therefore,
cringy.
Australia is going to have to work harder and more effectively and with greater productivity growth to carve a greater slice out of what may be
This is literally like high school. Oh my God. This makes me want to work in the Australian Parliament. The lights go out and everybody loses their mind.
Order, the House will come to order.
No, it won't. This reminds me more of like the British Parliament. How unruly it can be.
You know that fluorescent vest?
What did he just say about a fist?
And there's been a power loss through the entire parliament, so that's where we'll leave the House of Representatives.
Springs and sprockets all over the building.
Are you accepting it?
No, of course
No.
not. It's rubbish.
The government is not accepting it.
We'll pick it up in 2 weeks' time.
Order!
Mr.
Order!
Speaker, give him a
The
Valium.
government-
I have a further personal explanation to
See, we just don't get this here in America where they're like passionately yelling at each other across a table. That's like entertaining, you know. I like to see that, a little bit of liveliness out of the people we elect.
make today.
Better be better than the
Today.
first two.
Oh, Madam Speaker, that sort of commentary.
The member for Isaacs will remove himself on 94A.
Today,
You control. You're a disgrace.
Madam Speaker. Can't let them say
We gotta
that.
have some order in this place.
She's not intimidating enough. Oh,
Ms. Hanson, when I look at your policy document that turns around and says that we should be banning Muslims from coming to this country, I have to ask, does that mean that a 5-year-old Sam Dastiari should never have been able to set foot in Australia because somewhere in Tehran there's a document that sits that says beside my name the word Muslim because of where I was born?
Are you a Muslim? Really? Well, gee whiz.
Yeah, and I've never hidden away, no.
So were you sworn in under the Quran?
I was born in an Islamic nation, and by being
you're a
born
Muslim?
in an Islamic nation, I was born and under Iranian law, under Islamic law, under places like Iran, and my parents fled.
And are
Fled
you
to be able
practicing
to come
Muslim?
to this.
Muslim is one of those things where it's kind of like Jewish, right? Where it's both an ethnicity and a religion. Am I right? I mean, I'm talking way out of, I don't really know what I'm talking about. But I feel like that's right, which is sort of an interesting. This is awkward and cringy.
This is quite interesting. Are you practicing Muslim?
So what? Miss Hanson,
She's kind of scary. It's quite interesting. I didn't know a Muslim was next to me.
I think you're trying to make a joke of what is
No,
a serious...
I'm surprised. I didn't
I think
know
you're
that
making a
about
joke.
you.
What, because he doesn't have three heads?
Well, because I have to...
Mr Deputy Speaker, there's no member of the executive present. The House is not in order. It must be shut down immediately. Standing orders are very clear. There's no member of the executive present, Mr Deputy Speaker.
I'll just refer to the clerk. I'll call the clerk.
There's no member of the executive...
I love how much less formal these people are. In a way, like how he's got his shirt unbuttoned and he's like this. I just like it.
Present, Mr Deputy Speaker.
It's not as stiff and boring as American politics.
He wasn't here, Mr Deputy Speaker. He was not here.
Wasn't here. DQ'd. Is that Warren Buffett?
Mr Deputy Speaker, point of order. I made a point of order several moments ago. There was no member of the executive present. He was outside. The House should have been shut down at that moment. At that very moment, Mr.
That's a technicality. Come on.
Deputy Speaker, you can't buy time to allow the member to wander back into the House. You were not here. You were outside. Everybody saw it. You were not present. You wandered away.
The member for Marn will be seated for a second. I've referred to the clerk. The clerk's advised me to continue with proceedings. I call the member for Marn.
Point of order. There was no member of the executive present. It was very clear. We all...
This is funny. He's arguing it like this is some kind of sports match or something. Like, hey, he didn't tee off in time. You know, he took too long. That means it's our point. We win. We can go home. Game over. Like...
him outside. He was not in the chamber. He cannot now claim he was magically here the whole time.
The member for McMahon will be seated again. I've referred to the clerk. The clerk has advised me to continue with proceedings as a...
What is with these hourglasses? That is so cool. That's so old school. What are those for? They actually use those to keep time or something? Time somebody?
Respect for the clerk. I did not make the point of order to the clerk. I made it to you. You should have ruled on my point of order at that moment. You did not.
The member
you
for
gave the
McMahon
honourable
will be
member
seated.
time to wander back into the chamber when he was not physically present.
The member for McMahon will be seated.
What an incompetent government, Mr Speaker. House duty is not that complicated, Mr Deputy Speaker. You sit in a chair and when you're not here, you admit you weren't here. This is a minister who couldn't even admit he wasn't here. Couldn't even admit it. Couldn't even have the decency and the honour to say, sorry, I got it wrong. I forgot to sit in the chair, Mr Deputy Speaker. That was such a complicated task I had at hand. I didn't know what
I can't tell if this guy is an idiot or if he's got a point here. I can't tell.
to do.
But he's entertaining, nevertheless.
Says it all about his government. One job, Michael, over here.
Hey, he wasn't here.
This is one of the economic team. No wonder the economic plan of the government is failing, Mr Deputy Speaker. One of the government's economic team, one of the so-called brains trusts, can't even get house duty right. And that's what we see more and more, is the fact that this government is incompetent at every level. No wonder Pauline Hanson's running the show, Mr Deputy Speaker.
It does look like you'll be joining us in the Senate. It's an amazingly interesting place, and I'm sure you'll make it more interesting. And Pauline, right now, I will invite you to join me in Sydney, and I will take you out for a halal snack pack out in the western suburbs of Sydney, whenever you want.
Not happening. Not interested in halal, thank you. Not interested in it. I don't believe in halal certification. So let's...
I don't even know what that is, but is this not the same two people who she was asking if she was Muslim or if he was Muslim? Is that not the same two people?
It's going to be a very interesting time. It's going to be a very interesting time.
98% of Australians don't want halal certification, so we'll sit down and we'll have a good
It's going to be a very interesting change. But on a serious note, though, congratulations, Pauline.
Here we are going again.
But the Leader of the Opposition should withdraw the interjections that he persistently makes across the chamber along the lines in which you have insisted be withdrawn.
The Leader of the Opposition will withdraw without qualification.
I withdraw.
I thank the Leader of the
It's
Opposition.
still an untrue statement.
The Leader of the Opposition will remove himself from the chamber under 94A and to continually ignore the member for McKellar. The Leader of the Opposition has now been advised by the chair on more than one occasion, and I asked you, as you approached the dispatch box, to do it without qualification. You could not help yourself. The Leader of the...
She's not wrong.
The opposition will leave the chamber on 94A. The member for Wakefield has...
Why does it feel like it's up for debate? Like this guy's deciding like, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't leave. Like, what? This just feels... It's like, I couldn't tell, bro. I wouldn't have been surprised if he was like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm staying right here in this chair. And then they'd just argue about it.
As the call.
Shit happened.
Member for Greenway is warned.
For Melbourne, and I've said it any number of times
The
in
member for
Victoria.
Greenway will leave under 94A. The members for Batman, Corio will leave under 94A. There'll be silence. The member for Hotham will leave under 94A. The member will resume his seat and leave under 94A. The Prime Minister has the call.
94A. I wonder what that law is.
Is the Leader Manager of Opposition Business anxious to join the member for Hunter?
No, I'm not. But if I've got the call, I'll take a point of order.
Indeed.
How is the member for Hunter meant to resume his seat and leave the room?
He can do it sequentially. It's quite clever. The member will resume his seat and leave under 94A. Can't see who's yelling before your back.
He can do it sequentially. He can take his seat, then leave.
Was that the member for Melbourne Ports? Well, in that case, you may leave under 94A. The member for Shorten will leave under 94A. The member will resume his seat, and indeed, having sat down, she too will leave under 94A, sequentially. The member for Moreton will leave under 94A.
94A.
At risk of adding to the total, I should note that 18 people in one
94A.
question time is an all-time record since Federation.
You don't write crap.
The leader of the opposition is the Mr. Potato Head of Australian politics.
Oh.
He's the Mr. Potato Head. You can put whatever face you like.
The count is done by the tellers, and pairing arrangements, if they exist, are a matter for the whips. The original question was that I'm addressing the House. I'm addressing the House member for Corangamite. The original question was that the motion be agreed to which the honourable member for Dawson has moved an amendment. The immediate question is, the Leader of the House will cease interjecting.
And up until this point, most people working in this building know that it's safe. I don't think it any longer is. And to demonstrate that, this morning I brought in what could be, I brought this through security, a pipe bomb.
What? You brought a pipe bomb in? That's a federal offense. That looks like a rolling pin, sir.
I also brought in, when I was a kid...
What is that?
We used to blow stumps out on the farm 50 years ago. We'd get some nitropryl, a quart of distillate, a plug of jelly and a detonator, light the bloody thing and go to buggery. We could blow a tree the size of this building out of the ground. At the present
It's a big tree.
time, there's nothing to stop anyone from bringing those ingredients in here over a period of time through security. Would you agree?
Well, Senator, under the current arrangements, that is a risk, yes.
No, 62. The question is therefore resolved in...
I wonder why they were talking about all that.
The affirmative. The member for O'Connor is suspended from the service of the House for 24 hours under Standing Order 90.
And it reminds me of the whole Capitol situation where it was broken into here in America.
Oh. Order. The honourable member for O'Connor, just before he leaves the House, might go back to his position and apologise to the chair.
I don't think he will.
Oh, we'll deal with him when he returns. The Minister for Resources.
A woman sidled up to me and she said, Tony, whatever you do, don't stop wearing the Speedos. And I said, well, I don't intend to stop wearing the Speedos. And she said,
could you do me a favour? Could you do me a favour? She said, I said, sure. She said, get some smaller ones. Well, I've got to say, coming out of that water, I have smaller ones. I really do.
I'm absolutely thrilled to answer the question because you know what? It's been 260 days.
Hold on. I'm back. It's been a long time. The sun has set. It probably looks different. Anyway.
I'm absolutely thrilled to answer the question because you know what? It's been 260 days in this place and I've never been asked a question. Never once. Never once. That's it. That's their attitude to agriculture. And the first question I get asked for by agriculture is for the member for Sydney, isn't it? The member for Sydney. The member for Sydney. And what's the question?
I'm surprised agriculture wouldn't be the Minister of Agriculture. Wouldn't that be like, that's practically the king of Australia? I mean, the only person above him is the Minister of Mining.
You think I'd ask a question about how in May we had record movements of beef, over 108,000 tonnes of beef. You think I'd ask a question that we've moved over 1.3 million head of sheep, live sheep.
1.3. I'm impressed.
Since we've signed off the Bahrain agreement, the price of sheep have gone up by $30 a head. Up by $30 a head. An extra 20.
It's very UK Parliament type stuff. I love it. Kind of stuff you'd never see here in America. And if someone did it, people would be like, is this guy feeling okay?
$12,000 per semi-load, up to about $36,000 per semi-load. But of course we didn't get a question about that. You think they'd ask a question about the 585,000 head of cattle we've moved in the live cattle trade, something that you were responsible for shutting down. But of course, no, we didn't get a question about that. You think we may have got a question about the drought package that we have rolled out, over $700 million in concessional loans. But of course, we didn't get a question about that. We got a question about it. A rumour. A rumour. A rumour. So I've heard another rumour. Here's a
rumour. Rumour. It's so funny.
I've heard that the member for Sydney wants the leader of the opposition's job. Here's a rumour. Here's another.
It's so rowdy.
Rumour. I've heard that someone from the New South Wales.
What is this lady? This lady's just yelling at him, but like in support.
Right.
That's right. You tell.
Right. Got convicted by the ICAC for corruption. Oh, hang on. That's not a rumour. That's the truth. Eddie O'Bean. I heard another rumour. That someone from the New South Wales.
This guy's good.
The New South Wales
I love how they're all cracking up. This reminds me of some kind of frat house. Like they're all having fun. I want to work here.
I want your job. Tony Burke wants a job. But that's not a rumour either. I heard another rumour that the member for Lilly is still in the chamber. No, it's the truth. He's still here. He's still here. So we hear lots of rumours.
This guy's going off.
We hear lots of rumours around here, but we never get any questions about policy. No questions about policy. I welcome you.
That's how it is in politics these days. It's all a clown show. It's all a try. They try to get you with every question. It's never about the actual policy.
260 days, they've finally decided that there is an agricultural portfolio, but they just can't work out how to ask a question about it. Now, we just go back to the diesel fuel rebate. It is your party that wants to put a tax of 6.85 cents a litre on diesel. So there's only one party to vote for if you want the tax, you.
Oh, damn.
I call the honourable member for Robertson.
Holy shoot. Wow, that's some intense stuff. It's fun to watch. It's like a reality TV show. I think I'm going to end it there. Yeah, perfectly at 14 minutes. Look at that. Well, it's about time for me to go to bed, guys. It's late. You guys should be... Well, what time is it? I don't even want to say. By my calculations, you guys, it's like early in the day. Yeah, it's 11 a.m. Good morning. And good night. Happy Arvo. I'll see you guys tomorrow.